Ladies and gentlemen, lend me your ears and your eyes. Diva Divine Light, live from Brooklyn, New York.
Know your lane for what you saying, yo. Silly with my 9 milli with the dilly, yo. When I be on the mic, yes, I do my duty, yo. While up in the club, every while in the studio. You don't wanna vibe, nigga, really and truly, yo. My main thug, nigga named Julio, he moody, yo. Like a nigga that'll slap me with the tulio. Bitch, nigga scared to death, act fruity, yo. Fuck that, nigga shorty, she a little cutie, yo. The way you shake it, make me wanna get all in the booty, yo. With no delaying for what you saying, yo.
Diva Divine Light.
Really my heart to me. Fuck me, see, that's what you got for me. Put more than dance with my eyes to see. Still $1 in a place to be. If you really my heart to me. Fuck me, see, that's what you got for me. Put more than dance with my eyes to see. Still $1 in a place to be. If you.
You're watching Diva, the Divine Light. A fun-loving, caring, passionate person who talks about sex, celebrity, and real-life issues, and even abuse. So hit that like button and make sure you share the show.
Really my heart to me. Fuck me, see, that's what you got for me. Put more than dance with my eyes to see. Still $1 in a place to be. If you really my heart to me. Fuck me, see, that's what you got for me. Put more than dance with my eyes to see. Still $1 in a place to be. If you really my heart to me. Fuck me, see, that's what you got for me. Put more than dance with my eyes to see. Still $1 in a place to be. If you really my heart to me. Fuck me, see, that's what you got for me. Put more than dance with my eyes to see. Still $1 in a place to be. If you.
Here comes the pitch, and it comes in wide. Another combo.
Yo, 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 yo. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning and good evening to some. I hope everybody's having a great day. So far, so good. OCOV in the building. What's up, family? So, getting back to reading the Rkelly books and everyone that has written something about this man, we are going to go back in time. We are going to continue Diva's Book Club. Okay? That's what we're going to do over here. So, hello, everyone in the chat. Welcome, welcome, K-Love. What's up, sis? How you doing, baby? How you doing? I am Queen. What's up, Queen? What's up, Miss Mo? How you doing, lady? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Missy, what's up, sis? How you doing, my love? Atmos, ¿cómo estás, mi amor? What's up, my brother? How are you? How are you? All right. Atmos, we have birthdays coming up. Birthdays are coming up. My Aries is in the building. What's up to all the Aries family? I see. What's up, mama? What's up? Cat. What's up, Cat? What's up, lady? West Coast Bella in the building. What's up, WCB in the building? Cat Talk. What's up, lady? How are you? I hope you're doing good. I hope everybody's doing good. So, Asante Mcgee. Asante Mcgee is the woman who was the first to come out publicly about Rkelly and what he was doing with these girls in the home. She was an employee, a groupie, who dated him because she did chase him from state to state to see his concerts. That's usually what groupies do. Okay? They usually If you're living here in Georgia and your favorite artist has a concert in New York, you're going to fly all the way to New York to go see that person. You're going to try your best to get back in the VIP section and hang out with that person as well. That's what groupies do, right? So she turned from groupie to employee somehow, to where he had her dancing at his concerts. So I don't know if she was a runner or if she was just a dancer and that's how he had her. We don't know the story, but we're going to find out because we're going to read her book today. Okay. And at that particular time, she had been dating him as well. I believe she met him in like 2013. So from 2013 until 2016 or 17, she was with him. So within those times, she was just a fly-in girl. So she was just flying back and forth, flying back and forth. Hey, Charlotte, welcome. Good afternoon, honey. Hey, Hammer Time Funk, how are you? So she was actually girlfriend at some point. Yes, she became a girlfriend at some point. Yes, she did. So she was in his orbit for quite some time within those years, flying back and forth, meeting him, going out on dates and so forth, and doing things of this nature with him. She didn't really get to the heavy stuff until like 2016 or 17, something like that. Okay. That's when she was moved into his home. So once she moved into his home in Georgia, that's when she saw the other side, the stuff that was behind closed doors that nobody knew about. That's when she seen the things that she did. And she was not there long. I believe she was there maybe a month to 3 months or something like that. I believe maybe even weeks. I think it was like uh I believe she said she was with him like 3 weeks, living with him, 4 weeks, maybe 2 months. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember exactly. But within those lines, she was with him. And she's the reason why the parents were alerted. Okay. So I congratulate Asante Mcgee for coming out and coming forward to the parents, to the savages, and letting them know what their daughter was going through, letting them know that Joy was being abused, letting them know that she wasn't the only one. I congratulate you for standing up. It only took her a couple of weeks to a month or 2 months to say, hell no. Because when she met him, she wasn't a little girl. She was a grown ass woman in her 30s. So she knew better. She knew right from wrong. Her frontal lobe is all intact. But when people manipulate you, such as a narcissist, and they use their craft to eat you up and swallow you whole, it doesn't matter how old you are. Age here makes no difference. You can be 18, 16, 15, or you could be 25, 30. And you will still be manipulated by a narcissist. No matter what, they will eat you whole. They will grab you by your brain and eat your brain and swallow you and spit you out. Nexie, what's up, lady? How are you, mama? Good afternoon, good morning. Hey, mom, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Okay? So she was his girlfriend for a very short time. She was his girlfriend back and forth, being a fly-in for a long time, quite a few years, until somehow he made her some type of an employee where she was dancing at his concerts, to a point where he wound up moving her into his home in Georgia. Okay, baby, look, Nexie. I don't know if you're on your phone. Are you on your phone? If you're on your phone, you see in the chat line, in the chat box where you're going to speak, when you're going to type, where you're going to post your comment, you have on your left side a little smiley face, and on the right side you have the $sign. Okay, so you're on your phone. Do you have ¿cómo se dice? A Android or an iPhone? Because if you have an iPhone, I don't think you're going to be able to do it here, I believe. I'm not even sure. But if when you go to donate to the super chat, right, mama? And you have the little $sign, right? In the chat line. Hit the $sign. There should be an option that says join membership or something with membership. Do you see the option? Hey, fat boy, what's up, papi? Okay, so you see the option, mama? So once you press join, it should say super chat. Damn, what is this super chat? I forgot, but there should be a message in there, a option in there that says join membership. Did you find it, Nexie? All right. So while you're doing that, can't join on iPhone, have to do it on a computer. Right. Thank you, K-Love. Exactly. Nope, I have to use my computer. Okay. That's the only way you're going to be able to join, mama, is through the computer, okay? So when you get a chance, if you go home and you have a laptop or a desktop, you should go that way. Okay, baby. So thank you for joining when you do, sweetheart. I love you. Gracias, mi amor. Thank you for supporting. Yes, and thank you, K-Love, sweetheart. Thank you for letting us know. Oh. David, don't start your shit. All right, mama. So what I want to do right now in the meantime, there's 17 of us in the chat. I love you too, Nexie. 17? Yes, there's 17 of us in the chat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play an interview that a psychologist did with Asante Mcgee. I forgot when this was. This interview was 3 years ago. Okay. And shout out to Private Therapy Clinic. This is her channel. Okay. And she interviews Asante Mcgee. And the title is Surviving Rkelly. Asante Mcgee tells her story about her relationship with the singer Rkelly. Okay. So I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to post her channel in the chat. Please, guys, you know how I do. Please make sure you guys go to this video, like it, share it, subscribe to the channel. Give this lady her flowers. Every time I share some content, please make sure you give the people their flowers. Okay? Because we appreciate sharing their content, which is great info. You know, YouTube isn't research, but sometimes it is. Okay? All right. So, let me. Okay, guys. I'm going to go on mute. And give me a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear the video, okay?
Today I'm speaking to Asante Mcgee, an Rkelly survivor. Hi, Asante.
Hi.
Hi, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
It'd be great if you could tell me maybe where it all started for you. How did you first meet
Thank you, guys.
Rkelly?
I met Rkelly at a concert here in Atlanta.
And was that sort of just a completely chance meeting, or like had you met any celebrities before?
I've met them, but never really like had a conversation with them. So that was the first time actually. When I originally met him, it was never a face to face. It wasn't until a few months later that I actually had a face to face meeting with him.
Was that part of your kind of lifestyle? Were you sort of in your social circle? Did you have people who kind of knew a lot of celebrities, and like were the chances of meeting a celebrity for you like quite likely, or was this completely like a change from anything that you had known before?
It was a change. I mean, I live in Atlanta, so in Atlanta, there's a lot of celebrities that live here and a lot of celebrities that actually come here to visit. So, and I really don't go out too much, but I was, I ended up just going out because it was my birthday weekend and getting a chance to meet him.
Really exciting initially.
I guess it was more surreal for me because I guess I just couldn't believe, oh my gosh, like I said, I met him. I was in the VIP area with him, and I met him September 2013, but I didn't actually physically meet him face to face until January 2014.
How did you come to then meet him properly or be introduced to him properly?
So some of the guys from the entourage had got my number, and so when he actually came back to Atlanta, he called me. One of the guys called me and was like, "Hey, we're in town. Do you want to go to his concert?" Which was in another part of Georgia. And then he was actually staying downtown, so they invited me to his hotel room to just hang out with them. And that's when he actually gave me his phone number.
From what you know now, was his entourage supposed to seek out girls for him?
Yes, later on, after being with him and stuff, I found out that was something that was normal for the entourage to seek girls for him.
Got it. Okay. And then tell me about the early stages of the relationship. So spending time with him initially, what was that like for you?
Well, spending time with him, I mean, it was different, but it wasn't anything that was alarming for me where, I saw red flags. I mean, we went out to eat, we laughed, we told jokes, we listened to music, he let us listen to different things, projects that he was working on. So I didn't see any red flags. I guess the longer I got with him, he would start doing little things, but I didn't see the red flag to, disassociate myself from him.
Was there anything that was really pleasurable or exciting or like really nice in the early stages of the romance?
Like I said, he always just made you laugh. And who doesn't like to be with somebody that just make them laugh, make them feel comfortable being around them, just being yourself? And for me, I didn't look at him as Rkelly. I looked at him as Robert.
Yeah. Okay. Were you spoiled in the early stages? Like, was there a lot of gifts? Was there like really, really nice dates? Was there kind of something that like made you feel like you were getting a lot out of the relationship?
Yes, he spoiled me. I mean, anything that I wanted, I always had at his disposal. If it was something that he didn't want me to have, he would voice that opinion, like, "Oh, you don't need that." But it was very rare that he would even say anything, tell me no for whatever reason. And dating him and like going to the different cities that he was, because I knew he was on tour and I knew that he was busy, I really didn't look at it as, I'm not spending a lot of time having like romantic dates and stuff because of who he was. And he just always kept me occupied in the mall or whatever like that.
It must have been kind of confusing for you when you had like the romance and the gifts and the being treated really nice mixed with some of the red flags, some of the times when actually he didn't make you feel very good at all.
Yes, it was one time I can recall where he flew me to Chicago. I didn't see him for maybe the first 2 days. And when, I was getting ready to leave, he just called me out the blue and told me to come to the studio. And that's when I found out later that there was a test he was putting me in, that he made me stay in the Sprinter for like 8 hours without any kind of communication or anything like that.
Was that a complete shock to your system as you didn't see that situation coming at all?
Yes, it was a shocker. towards the end of the night, I was highly upset, and I just, in my mind, I'm going to curse him out. But then when he sent for me, it's just like he charmed me with his romance and just made me forget about why I was mad with him. So it just like I let it slide.
It must have been really confusing to have that experience of like, well, I have all this love on one hand, but then actually, wow, he's just locked me in a vehicle and completely mistreated me.
Yes, it was.
I'm just wondering, with the vehicle situation, was there any way of getting out?
Yes, I wasn't locked in the vehicle. There were several times where I had to use the restroom, and I kept texting him, "Hey, I need to use the restroom," but he never responded. And so I actually got out the vehicle and found like a local restaurant around the corner from the studio and used the bathroom and came back in. Throughout most of the time went by fast, and I didn't even realize what was going on because I was on the phone with my friends. At this point, I was not isolated from anyone. I was able to talk on my phone freely. I was able to come and go as I wanted freely. I just had to let him know my whereabouts. So he, in his way, it was to make sure that I'm safe. And if anything happened, he knew who I was with and where I was.
Yeah, got it. So essentially, like it was easy to pass that time because you had your phone and stuff. He'd already put in place at this point like the asking for permission thing. So at this point, you were supposed to ask for permission to use the restroom, and when he was not replying to that, then you knew that you would have to go against one of his rules in order to look after yourself.
Yes, I mean, because I really needed to use the restroom and I wasn't going to use the restroom on myself. So, I mean, I was scared, didn't know what would have happened if he would have caught me. So I immediately, found a local restaurant, which was probably a 1-minute walk from the studio, used the restroom and immediately came back into the studio in the sprinter without him even realizing that I was gone. And then I believe I texted him and told him that, hey, I'm about to go use the bathroom, and he still never responded.
When he was trying to impose those rules, because I guess when you say these rules to some people now, they might make really big assumptions and go like, well, how did you not know that was like, abusive? But I'm wondering, did he try to like, or what way did he have imposing those rules? How did he go about trying to explain the rules in a way that made it all make sense at the time?
Again, it was when he was telling me that he cared about me. He just wanted to make sure that I'm safe. And because of who he is, some people might, try to attack me if they knew who I was. And that's why he also said, whenever you're in a sprinter, if you're in a cab or the Lyft driver, never engage in a conversation. Just keep your headphones in until you get to the stop. And he even had gave me an example of one of the girls didn't listen and actually, I guess, had a conversation with the Uber or Lyft driver. And I guess maybe because she told him who she was with and who she just got to seeing, that driver supposedly had contacted some of his friends. And when he dropped her off, the girl was jumped and beaten really bad and robbed. And so he used her as an example.
Yeah, and used his status to give a rationale for why you always needed to ask him and check in with him. At what point did you, because sometimes like it sounds like the red flags were there, but it was hard to recognize them as red flags at the time. Was there situations where you started to go, that doesn't seem right? Like what was the early situations where you started to maybe rethink some of his behavior?
And that's the crazy part about it. That was maybe one of the only things that happened early on that made me think, but then he charmed me where I, didn't think about it anymore. The next time was April, the kickoff of the buffet tour, when he was in St. Louis. And after the concert or whatever, went on the sprint. We was on the bus together, and after we had engaged in sexual activities for a few hours, he later on called somebody on the phone to come here, and later on to find out that somebody had been on the bus the entire time. And the girl came out naked, and I was, really confused. Like, okay, what is going on? Like, there's no way this girl been on the bus the entire time. So, the whole time that he's introducing her to me, I'm just thinking like, nah, this can't be real. Like, when is somebody gonna say you're being punked? But it never happened.
Okay, so let me just make sure I've got that. So you were on the bus with him and you were having sex with him, and then you assumed you were in private, but there was another girl in a different compartment?
Yes, so on the bus they had a bedroom all the way to the back, and so in between the bedroom there's like a hallway, and
Yeah.
so it was two doors that she had to come through the door from the bedroom as well as the door to the from the hallway.
Right. And you had assumed you were there alone. You had privacy, and that there was like you didn't know so much about other girls at this point.
Well, he told me that he had other girls, some like wives that I eventually would meet them, but 2 year in a relationship, I never met him.
Just V, she had to ask permission too. She said she wasn't waiting for him to tell her she could go. She just got out the car and did what she had to do. She wasn't having that shit. She just did what she had to do. She just left, got out, and went to the bathroom. Like I said, some girls were fly-ins, and at this point, she was a fly-in. So the rules didn't really pertain to her until after she moved in. Certain rules were she had to tell him where she was at all times. That was her rule as a fly-in girl. She had to wait in the Sprinter for hours or whatever room he was in or whatever it was. It was just about him and her. She wasn't introduced to any other girls until later on. So at first, in the beginning, it was different. It was more like a relationship. She was dating him. She was seeing him every so often. It wasn't all the time, but she would go meet him at certain spots where he had his concerts. And she would go and see him and this, that, and the third. She started out as a groupie, just going to concerts and trying to get into the VIP room. One day he noticed her, and that's where everything popped off. All right, so I'm going to continue. I just wanted to cut in and just say that, okay?
Right. So
So it
you,
was more of out of sight, out of mind.
yeah, and you assume that that happened on other occasions where it was completely separate. You never expect it to be in the same situation as another girl when you're having sex with him, and she's actually perhaps locked away in that, or told to stay there, or being controlled by him.
Yeah.
So that must have been a real shock for you to realize, well, I've been having sex with him, and there's this girl who's been in the same place
And
during.
being obedient because I just couldn't imagine being in a room and knowing that, somebody that I'm with or somebody I care about is in another room having sex. So I guess she's accustomed to it. And so she just knew that she had to do what he told her to do, whether she liked it or not.
And then when you learned that she'd been there, did you confront him about it?
No, because like I said, she came out of the room. He introduced her to me, and we actually had a conversation, and then it ended up leading to a threesome. So it was
Okay.
something that she was very comfortable with.
Okay.
And the other thing that I felt that was odd was she asked permission to get something to eat. And she was like, Daddy, can I have something to eat? And I'm like, why is she asking him for something to eat? These are thoughts that I'm saying in the back of my mind. And, he told her, and then after she ate, she thanked him for giving her some food. And I'm just trying to take everything in. And I just thought that it was really weird.
Yeah.
But I just knew it wasn't a time for me to question anything and how to even question. I just, went along with whatever was going on.
Yeah. So at this point, it sounds like he hadn't given you so many rules. There were some rules, but they were so subtle, and he provided a strong rationale for them. But the severe rules, you didn't have these at this point at all.
No, I didn't. And then another thing, when he introduced me to her, he was like, "Oh, this is the girl that I had sitting in the sprinter for all those hours back in Chicago." And she passed the test. And that's when, I started thinking back like, oh, wow, I was being tested basically to see my loyalty to him.
Right.
I
Yeah.
want to stay and just leave, or if I was going to stay as long as he told,
I wonder, do you feel that you were being treated different in terms of the rules because of your age?
I don't think that was so much the problem. The thing was he had to bait me. So you get different rules when you're a fly in versus when you're a live in. So because I'm a fly in and I could go and come as I please and I could talk to whoever I want to, he can't give me all of the sleeper rules because he don't want to take that chance for me, telling people about those rules. So it wasn't until he moved me in is when I got the more strict rules on, what to do and how to do and what to wear and things like that. And that's what
You see what she said? It was different for her at the start. In the beginning, it was different. She didn't have to go by all these rules. Fly-ins really don't have to go by all those rules. It's the girls that he's living with that have to apply to all those rules. So in the beginning, things were different for her until he moved her in. This is how he groomed her. He had to groom her somehow, some way. She was an older woman. She wasn't a little girl, so it was different. Same thing with Kitty Jones. He groomed her in such a way. It was different from the little girls. Totally different. If you guys get a chance, I did read Kitty Jones' book. Go in my playlist. Go into Diva's book club. I believe I put it in my members only. If you want, you can go to the members only. It's only $1.99, and you can keep the membership, as well, to put little emojis in the chat. And also my private members only lives and community wall posts and things of this nature that I have in there. I have a lot of things in there, guys. I do. So if you get a chance and you do want to become a member, you can hit the join button on the above the video in the video line, or you can become a member by hitting the $ button in the chat. And you can join that way, or if not, you have to go to a computer if you have an iPhone, and you have to do it that way. You have to go to the computer to become a member. Okay, and it's only $1.99 a month, guys. It's not a lot. So as you guys can see, so this is what she's explaining. She's explaining the steps that she went through. Okay.
you a fly in versus when you're a live in. So because I'm a fly in and I could go and come as I please and I could talk to whoever I want to, he can't give me all of the sleeper rules because he don't want to take that chance for me, telling people about those rules. So it wasn't until he moved me in is when I got the more strict rules on, what to do and how to do and what to wear and things like that. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. There's a difference between a live-in and a fly-in.
Yeah, got it. I wonder, when you look back on it now, what was the first incident that was very traumatic for you? You don't necessarily have to go into the details, but like, could you give some information around, like, at what point did you kind of feel like this is actually very traumatic?
It really wasn't until I moved into the house when, one thing is, I had to have permission to walk freely in the house. And I felt like you're telling me welcome home and this is not my home, because if it was, why do I have to have permission to walk throughout the house, permission to eat, permission to do anything? Then another thing is, it's June and it's summertime. It's like the high 90s. And you have the heater on and fireplaces on. I'm texting you, Daddy, I'm not feeling good. It's too hot in this house. Can we get somebody to check the heater? Because they're claiming that the heater was broke. And apparently it wasn't. They must have had it set where it just kept the heater on at all times. You couldn't change, because I even tried to mess with it. And I even tried to call my uncle, to help me to find out why the heater won't go off. And the trainer was like, oh, you can't call nobody, you need to talk to Daddy, because he don't want anybody in his business. And when I asked him, can I call somebody to get help with the heater? He was like, no, you don't need to do anything. I'll take care of it. But he never got the heater fixed where it wouldn't go off.
It must have been a real shock to you when you moved into that house. How long had you known him for before you moved in?
2.5 years. I known him for 2.5 years. So yes, it was a big shock. Within the first week or two, I was already plotting my getaway, because every day it was more intense rule stuff that didn't make sense, things I didn't agree with. that I knew that I needed to get out, and this was not the life that I signed up for. Because Rob makes you disown your family. He just pretty much removed you from everything and everybody from your life. That once you leave him, you're a bad. You have nothing. It just depends on where your family is. Like if they're willing to still welcome you with open arms.
Do you ever feel quite conflicted about trying to get the early R. Kelly back? And did you ever feel like, maybe he will change? Maybe he's just going through maybe these were once-off instance. Maybe I can have the man who I was dating back again.
No, I didn't. And the reason why I didn't think that he would, because after just coming out of abusive marriage, my ex-husband, promised to change and never do things again. Although Rob didn't physically abuse me, but he verbally and sexually abused me. And so I knew that once an abuser is always an abuser.
You recognized the signs
early on. So that's why it was so easy for me to break away. Now, when I did leave, I was thinking like, okay, maybe I'm tripping, maybe it's not as bad, or maybe I'm overthinking things or whatever. But I had to like gather my stuff myself and really rethink. And then after, reaching out to people, telling them, hey, this is what happened. And I was told, okay, yes, you're not tripping. This is really how he is, because I've heard this is how he treats all of his girls.
I guess for that reason, your past experiences actually helped you get out of there faster.
Yes, it did.
So when you got out of the house, how were you the first couple of weeks after getting away? How were you emotionally?
I was scared. I didn't know if he was going to come to try to find me, send somebody, because I knew so much. And so actually when I left, a week after I left, he did call me and told me that I needed to apologize for disrespecting everybody, and that I had 1 week to come back home. If I didn't come back home, then to lose his number. And I felt that I did not owe anyone an apology, because I did nothing wrong but defend myself, and, knew that the treatment that I was getting was not the treatment that I deserved. And so, I had to just pretty much reevaluate myself. And like I said, I promised myself I would never allow another man to abuse me in no way. So I had to just stick to it and just know that this is not the life that I signed up for.
Have you received quite a lot of backlash over time when you came forward and started speaking to the media about your experiences?
I did. I received a lot of backlash from a lot of trolls. They're inboxing me, threatening me with death threats. I've even had my ex-husband try to come out against me by doing YouTube videos saying that I'm a liar, and just saying all these different awful things, when indeed, I had to learn an abuser will protect an abuser. He's abused me throughout our entire marriage. And it's like he's trying to get fame off of my name by just doing all these YouTube videos with different bloggers, when I have, a permanent stay away order. I get people ask me why I'm not defending myself. I even have, parents speaking out against me of some of the survivors, of some of the girls that's still in the house, saying, oh, I'm lying and this and that, when I have done nothing but told my truth. My story has never changed. And I'm like, I'm not going to defend people, keep defending myself, because I'll be defending myself every day. I know my truth. I stand in my truth, and I don't need anyone to validate me.
That must have been really difficult for you to deal with all of that emotionally, especially because online can be such a nasty place. Did it ever make you feel like you just wanted to close everything down and just like stop speaking out?
Yes. In the beginning, it drew me into a deep depression that I regretted coming forward. I wanted to end everything. I no longer wanted to speak my truth. But then when I started getting those inboxes telling me, thank you, because of you, I was able to leave my abuser. I have young girls and women, that look up to me and thank me for telling my story, and then coming out against someone that's so powerful. That right there is the reason why I continue going on. The biggest thing for people that's being abused is we're embarrassed. We want validation from people. We are afraid that people won't believe us or make fun of us.
Has it been difficult for you to deal with all of this? What have you been doing to help you sort of recover from what's happened?
Really, I have not. I've reached out to Lifetime asking them for therapy. They refuse to give me therapy. The only thing that they're offering is over the phone. And for me, I need to physically see you. I've been offered virtual therapy. I need to actually be in that room with you to really feel like I'm getting the therapy that I need. Everybody have a different preference when it comes to therapy. You can't control how I can heal in which form of therapy. And so the simple fact is I've been traumatized. I'm battling this every day. And you still refuse to give me, any kind of face-to-face therapy. You're telling me you don't have any money, but you have money to pull up billboards to get an Emmy nomination. You have money to fly us to awards events, different things like that, but you don't have money to give us therapy. And what a lot of people fail to realize is mental health is a serious thing. A lot of people is committing suicide because of this, and they don't understand how much. I feel like I'm the most hated survivor because I have been attacked the most by so many people. And I keep my head up high. I have 3.
And the reason why she's been attacked is because she was the first one to come out against him, as well as Geronda Pace. They were the first 2 girls to speak out about R. Kelly. Geronda Pace came out to the BuzzFeed, and Asante Mcgee came out to the press conference with the Savages. She's the one who went to the Savages. The Savages went to the press. That's how all of this started. And thank you, Asante, for standing up. I appreciate that. I'm glad you had the strength to walk away as soon as you did. I'm sorry that he ate up your mind and you were so starstruck. This is what happens. Yeah, now they all talk about ass. Right. Let's continue.
Beautiful kids that I have to keep going for. I'm doing all of this by myself.
To ask you about it was when I was doing my research, I came across it was really not very nice at all, but your ex-partner and your daughter, or supposedly, I don't know if it was your daughter, but supposedly your daughter, on a YouTube video just sort of saying it was all lies and stuff. What how did your daughter sort of get dragged into this, and what's happened since?
Okay, so what happened was there was a guy that I had dated shortly after I had left Rob. He knew everything that I've gone through. He pretended to be so caring. He loved women. He don't condone and abuse and all of that. So I met him December of 2016. We started dating, and he was always around my kids, always acting like this perfect gentleman. And then, just like any other abuser, they come in like Prince Charming, and then the true them start coming out. So what happened was he ended up having a HVAC business.
A what business?
A HVAC business, which is a AC and plumbing business.
Okay.
So with that business, I try to help him get his business organized, doing everything legal. And he had another person that was working with him. And, I was like, okay, the way she's doing it is not the legit way as far as IRS. I feel like payroll need to be paid via check and not PayPal, different things, to be able to keep track of stuff with IRS. So he ended up starting a second business with me and him and try to hide it from the other person. He did whatever he could do to purposely sabotage the business that me and him had together. And then I ended up starting my own business because he felt that I didn't know what I was doing because it's something I wasn't used to. So I started my own business. While I was starting my own business, all of his illegal things that he had done eventually caught up with him. So he received a cease and desist from the state of Georgia, from the Secretary of State, and he blamed me. So he set my daughter, when he found out I was on the Megyn Kelly show, he called my daughter and befriended my daughter, acting like, they were cool or whatever. And so they was having a regular conversation. She did not know she was being recorded, and she was joking and laughing at about everything. And
how old was she? Just out of interest, how old was she when that recording was done?
She was 18 at the time.
How old?
She was 18.
18. Okay, so she's really, really young.
Right. And so when I was dating Rob, I'm not going to tell my kids, oh, this is what I'm doing. Oh, this is what's going on. He's doing this. He's doing that. What she knew was, yes, I was coming and going as I pleased in the beginning of my relationship. I have never denied that. Yes, I was coming home with money. I was coming home with gifts for them, things that was provided from him. So when people hear her say, oh, I was coming and going as I pleased, yes, I was. It was not until June when he moved me into his house. And it's like people take the little things and run with it instead of listening to the full story of what happened. So he pretty much set my daughter up to try to say that I lied about everything. Yeah. And so when I found out about the video, I ended up calling him, and I have a recording on him saying that he said he blamed me for him losing his business, and that he said that he was going to get me back, and so he got me back. That was his way of trying to get me back.
Emotionally, on a day-to-day basis, do you find that you have some symptoms of trauma? Do you have a lot of anxiety? Do you have like some depression? I'm just wondering about symptoms that you experience now over everything that's happened.
Since I've come forward with everything, it's getting worse instead of better, to be honest. And that's the reason why I keep asking for therapy, because I find myself not want to leave my house, just want to stay inside, don't want to talk to anybody. I can have things set up and that I'm canceling because I do not feel like being bothered with anyone. That I find myself want to cry, or it's just like I just go back into depression. So after I talk about it, I say maybe the next few days I don't even want to even get out because I'm just constantly thinking. That's why I'm really not on social media as much as I used to, because I'm just tired of always being attacked. People feel like because I was arrested, they make me a liar or something like that. And it's just like a lot of this has become a competition. I feel like we all as survivors supposed to be uplifting each other, helping each other, but instead we're not. It's like everyone is against each other. It's like it's really a competition when it shouldn't be. We all dealt with the same man and was abused in different ways. You know, some was worse than the others, and so to be trying to compete against each other, talking about each other behind their backs is not called for. And I just wish we together. I feel like together we could be very powerful women, united, but instead it's always the outsiders in each other's ears. And so that's why I just pretty much stay to myself.
I'm just wondering if you got.
Yeah, you see it. You see what she's saying is true. You know, a lot of stuff happened between the girls when they met. You know, like Lizette and Kitty Jones. They said they had gotten into a shouting match. They were arguing at the what is that? The premiere of Surviving R. Kelly. You know what I mean? I think Geronda Pace got into it with somebody too. Like they all got into it with each other somehow, some way, because like she said, it was like a competition of who went through more, and you know, who stayed with him longer, and who did he love the most. And it's weird. But you know what? That is called Stockholm Syndrome. That is Stockholm Syndrome. When you are in love with your abuser, you're in love with your captor. It's the trauma bonding that they give to you. And then being that he had so many women at the same time, a lot of them knew that there were other women because a lot of them were interacting with each other in bed. They were only allowed to speak to each other if he told them to speak to each other. Other than that, he had all these women separated. They were what we call Stockholm Syndrome and trauma bombed. They were groomed. These things happened in different ways to every single one of them. They might have all been treated the same in certain patterns of behavior when it came to his rules, but they were all treated differently accordingly to the way he wanted to have them treated, in line and in position from number 1 to number 20. And hello to everyone who walked up in the building. What's up, grown little boy? What's up, fat boy? What's up, daughter of the Most High? What's up, rocking with the truth? What's up, mommy? Tears. What's up, baby? Oh, my son just got home from school. Say what's up. What's up, Joshua? My daughter's hanging out right now. Right. A competition in a situation like this is crazy. It is. And it's the weirdest thing, but this is Stockholm Syndrome. This is exactly what it is. It's a cult atmosphere. So they all were trauma bond and were bound by Stockholm Syndrome. Period. From the youngest baby to the oldest lady. He had them all. Didn't matter if you were a child or if you were an adult. He abused whoever he needed to abuse to satisfy his gratifications, whatever they were. And his biggest hunger was sex. And these women were his slaves. They were just feeding his habit, his hunger. It didn't matter who you were. He did whatever he had to do to whoever he had to do it to. Good. Let's continue.
So to be trying to compete against each other, talking about each other behind their backs is not called for. And I just wish we together, I feel like together we could be very powerful women, united, but instead it's always the outsiders in each other's ears. And so that's why I just pretty much stay to myself.
I'm just wondering if you've got any thoughts on why that breakdown in communication has happened, and there's not more empathy for one another, because you have all, as you say, you have all been abused by the same man in different ways.
For me, I feel like it's because of Black women. We just cannot get along. It's like we're a crab in a barrel. Everybody trying to climb the top without coming together, and the next person trying to outdo each other. What set me different from other people, and I think that's why a lot of other survivors don't like me. First of all, there were parents that was putting bad things about me in their ear before they even met me. And so instead of them getting to know me personally, they just went with whatever the parents told them about me and never tried to get to know me for who I am. Secondly, when everything came out, when I did that interview with the parents, I knew I made a bad decision after. So I felt like I cannot go jump out like that again.
When you look at your future and you think about future relationships, can you envision relationships for yourself where there wouldn't be abuse and it would be a healthy relationship where you're not mistreated?
I envisioned it, but it has not happened. Now I'm learning to recognize the early on flag. So if you do something, just it could be the smallest thing, like making me go have on a date on some food when you ask me out to a date, or you keep canceling on me, but whenever it's a convenience for you, then I'm available. And like I had to tell one guy, I would not be treated like an option.
I know that you have a book that you wrote about your experiences. How's your book been doing? And do you feel you managed to tell your story in the book in the way that you wanted to?
No, I did not tell my story the way I wanted to. I felt like I did it to prove a point. That's when I was being attacked by a lot of people, from my ex-husband, mistress, just different people that was attacking me because of my past. That I felt that I needed to hurry and get my story out. That I didn't take my time. I still felt I left a lot of things out. So right now I am working on a second book where I'm filling in the missing blanks, and this book will be more detailed, and I'm actually taking my time.
With trauma, particularly if there's sexual abuse, sexual violence involved, often people really struggle with the shame element. And for that reason, people are sometimes, and completely understandably, never able to talk about some of the experiences that they've gone through. Is that something that resonates with you?
Yes, and Main reason why a lot of trauma that I've gone through with Rob, I refuse to make it public because I've already been attacked so much with the little details that I have given. So imagine if I reveal even more details that's far more worse than what I've even revealed. So I don't think I could deal with being attacked more than what I'm already doing.
Yeah.
So it's like every day they can't keep my name out their mouth. It's like I feel like whatever happens, blame Asante or Asante did it. I see so many videos where I'm completely innocent in the situation, but I'm being blamed. Oh, it was Asante that did it. And I'm like, I don't even know what they're talking about. And so I had to take myself off a Google alert because I was getting so many Google alerts about these videos that these YouTubers doing. And I think another bad thing is it's nothing but Black YouTubers, bloggers that's attacking not only me, but a lot of the other survivors, but me mainly. And I just feel like as a woman and being a Black woman, why are you okay with attacking? Because you're going by what you've heard. Get to know that person. So your daughter, if your daughter go through the same thing, what are you going to do? How are you going to feel if a blogger do the same thing? Even the men, like, why are you attacking me or whatever when you have a mama? You have nobody control what situation they're in. For me, I feel like you need to be thanking me and saying kudos to you because you, when you moved in, you left immediately. You didn't stay there for years or months and allow the abuse. But they don't want to listen to all of that. They just want to focus on the bad and want to focus on my arrest record and just focus that I've been with this man for 2.5 years, but not realize I only lived with this man for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I'm the one that contacted the parents. Yeah. If I did not come forward and contact these parents, we would not be where we are right now. Another hurtful thing for me is I see a lot of these bloggers talking about, oh, we're doing this for money and stuff. You're using our pain, our tragedy, to gain for money. So what make, okay, you're trying to say that, you know, I'm doing this for money or the other survivors doing it for a check or something. What are you doing? Because I haven't gotten paid for telling my story, telling my pain, or anything else. Who wants to sit there and just reveal all of the embarrassing things? But yet you're bashing us. You're doing everything that you possibly could to monetize off of my pain.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't understand. How can you have the nerve to talk about us when you're the one that's really monetized? Lifetime is the only one that made money off of our pain. And that's why I just feel like Lifetime is no different than anybody else. You know, we were saying, oh, we're giving Black girls a voice. You use the Black girl to manipulate me, to entrust my story with you, all for everybody else to monetize off our pain. I feel like they were no different than anyone else. The trolling, I can't really get mad because they're going to troll. I mean, that's what they do, hide behind a computer and say the mean, nasty things, whatever they're going to do. It doesn't matter who it is, you know, who you are, they're going to attack you to uplift themselves because clearly they have low self-esteem about themselves. The personal interviews that's being done about me and everybody only believe the negative side of me instead of knowing the truth, that upsets me and how the whole production thing worked. I just feel like I was bamboozled.
Considering you probably have like a lot of anxiety from the trauma that you've experienced, is that stuff hard to handle?
She actually wrote another book talking about after Rkelly and how, you know, it's changed her life and, you know, she's in a new direction and things are looking up for her, you know. A lot of these girls are going to have problems living their life because they came out in the public. And therefore, everywhere they go, someone, somewhere will recognize them and point fingers and snicker at them or harass them. You know, and a lot of times these girls have to wind up moving around. They don't always stay in one place because somebody somewhere somehow is going to recognize them and might say something and harass them. And then they get scared. And then they have to move out and find another place to live and pray that things go right over there. This is another reason why Rashana Landfair And Tracy Sampson wound up getting Section 8 because they had to move around. They're being attacked. Certain times, certain places. They go to certain places. They live in Chicago. They get attacked. There's nowhere safe for them to hide. Look at Geronda Pace. Her children are all homeschooled because she can't, as a parent, go and drop off her children and pick up her children without someone recognizing her and being harassed by someone. And that is sad for all these women that have to go through that. But I commend every single one of them for coming forward. Whether they told whole truths, half truths, lies, no lies, whatever, their story was out there. People were listening. Rkelly is where he is and where he needs to be because these women were all brave. The shit they had to say is all embarrassing. Why would I come out here and tell a story that's embarrassing and then people tell me I'm lying? That is why a lot of victims don't come forward. Right away, it's shame on you, victim blame, point. But it's never the perpetrator's fault. And that is sad. None of them deserve it. None of them. She looks at peace now. I hope she is. I hope they all are at peace now that they've gotten away from Rkelly. And it's going to be hard for them to continue to have peace. But some way, somehow, they will find it as they heal. And they don't deserve to be treated the way they do. They don't. It's crazy. I feel bad for all these women that went through this. All of them. Whether they were kids or they were women. At the end of the day, they're all women now who have to go through this bullshit for the rest of their life. And hopefully they all get peace. I'm glad that somehow, some way, they got justice. Rkelly is locked up. He got 50 years total. But he's only got to do 31. It's okay. It's still a lifetime for him because he's old. At least they got some justice. Let's continue.
It is. And, right now I had to get to the point that if I continue to worry about those that don't believe me or keep trying to defend myself, I wouldn't be able to get ahead in life. It's just these shows are motivating me more and more to speak out and, to try to educate or help as many people as I can to give them the warning signs about any man or woman that might be controlling and how to recognize these signals and just leave immediately, because if they're showing you small things that you have to question, if you have to question, it's not good for you.
So the interview was done by Dr. Becky Spellman. And I had put her channel in the link there. This is her video, guys. Please go like her video, share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for that interview, Dr. Becky Spellman. That was a wonderful interview. Thank you, Asante Mcgee, for telling your story. I don't think we'd be here without Asante. Exactly. Not only Asante, but also the young lady who told the Savages that Joy left college. That's what prompted everything. Was that the girl who told the parents that Joy was no longer in the college dorm and she went to go be with Rkelly. Once that happened and the parents spoke out about it, Asante Mcgee went to the parents, left and went to the parents and said, oh, hell no. I got to tell these parents where their daughter is and what's going on with her. Exactly what's going on with her. So, as you say, we wouldn't be here without these people. Thank God. Because he would still have all these girls right now. And maybe in this time, who knows if maybe he would have gotten some new girls. So thank you, ladies. I commend all of you for standing up and saying something and being brave to stand up against a powerful man. It took 30 years to bring him down because he was that covered by the industry, because he was a cash cow for people in his neighborhood, in his community. He's the pervert uncle that you keep in the closet and just be like, shh, just stay away from him. Right, Cherie. What's up, Cherie? What's up, mama? Yes, their story matters. Thank God they did what they had to do. I'm happy for all of the ladies and pray that they can try and live a normal life. And I agree with you 1000%, Cherie. Exactly, Miss Mo. It's sad that they are still going through this. Injustice free Rkelly. She never was trapped. She was willing. Now she's stressed and broke. Um, all these women wanted to be with him. That's not the problem. That's not the issue. Oh my God, where is this coming from? I can't even find this call right now. Hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I just got some 411 that somebody's out here on these YouTube streets right now, being acting like a little girl right now. Yeah. They're being little girls right now. I cannot. All right. So anyway, we're over here doing what we do. So we ignore the bullshit. All right. So, to answer your question, she never was trapped. She was willing. Now she's stressed and broke. I mean, they were all broke. I mean, nobody in R. Kelly's orbit was rich except for R. Kelly. The fuck are you talking about? I mean, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? So what? What does this have to do with R. Kelly abusing women? I'm confused. What does them being broke have to do with R. Kelly abusing them? Nothing. That shit ain't got nothing to do with the other. What are we talking about? Injustice? Really? Come on now. Right. Joy, go home. Please. Please go home, baby. Right. Tread lightly, brother, because my sisters in here will get your ass out of here. Stop it. Okay? All right. Right. No, the truth does not hurt, but because you're not speaking truth, baby. This is the problem. You're not. You're not speaking truth. Okay? This is what you're not doing. Yes, free R. Kelly from jail and straight to prison. Right, injustice. That's exactly why y'all are pissed off, because of the truth. Exactly. Because all these women came out and spoke their truth. Noni, what's up, mommy? Okay? Okay? Right. Jesus is coming home before R. Kelly. Okay? Injustice. No joda. All right? Would you leave your kids to be locked up in a room? Make it make sense. Hello. She left her children because her children were 18 years old and older. Okay, right. She had an 18-year-old living there. Right. So therefore, the 18-year-old could take care of the little one, if there was a little one, right? All right. If not, the 18-year-old could take care of herself. She grown. All mom has to do is send her money. Check on her every so often. What are we talking about? She wanted to go live her life to be with R. Kelly because R. Kelly was like, you're my girl. I love you. Look, I buy this for you. I buy that for you. I do this for you. I do that for you. Live your life. Come live with me. You can have the best life you want. You can have everything you want. I could give you everything you want, baby. Come stay with me. I love you. I give you the best sex ever. Yes, come stay with me. I love you. Here, $500. Here, $1,000. Here, look at this bag. Look at these glasses. Look at these clothes. I'm going to hook you up. What you need, a new phone? I got you, girl. And when you're done with that, come back so that then you can suck my dick and be my slave. But you're going to do it because I do all these things for you. So you owe me, bitch. You don't look at shit like that, right? You don't look at it like that. Well, you know what? Over here, that's how we look at it. Okay? R. Kelly's an abuser. Period. Fuck. What are we talking about, bro? I know, mommy. I'm here, baby. I'm here. Tasha. What's up, baby?
I'm here too.
You know? We miss you too, baby. You've been on vacation and shit, working hard, doing your thing. Hey, shorty, what's up, mama? Right. Right, you're not speaking any truth. Read your black and white paperwork. Right. Send your daughters and nieces over there with your funky stank cane. Right, Rockin'. I mean, injustice. I got a question for you. Would you leave your children with R. Kelly? Would you leave your nieces with R. Kelly? Would you leave your daughters with R. Kelly? Would you let them go hang out with him for the day like they used to do with Michael Jackson and shit like that? Go play with R. Kelly. Go ahead, it's okay. It's okay. We love you, R. Kelly. It's okay. And then all of a sudden, 20 years later, you find out that your niece, your nephew, or your daughter or your son was abused. But they didn't want to say anything because they were too scared or they were too embarrassed or they just didn't want anything to happen to R. Kelly because they loved him, because they were in love with their abuser. This is what happens. Don't you know that that's what happens? Sometimes we get scared of the abuser and we run. Sometimes we run to them. It all depends on the mindset you're in and who you are and who the person is as well. And it's even harder when it's someone you love or you know. Don't you know that? Do you not do your research about these things? This all has to do with mental health. Do you not research any of this? I guess you don't. That's why you think the way you do. Right. Yeah, can y'all hit the like button? Thanks, guys. Don't forget, all right? Right. They all act like little girls. Right, like, what are we talking about here? Les Smith, what's up, mommy? What's up, mommy? They stay over bothered. Stay over there in your lane. Ugh, we are good. Go save y'all king. Shouldn't you be writing letters anyway? Right. Did I tell y'all I had surgery last Monday? Oh, no. Okay, now y'all know. God bless you, mommy. I love you. I hope you're okay. God bless you. I'm glad you're up and talking to us and you're here. I hope it wasn't nothing major. Diva lets me loose. They don't even know. All right, mommy. I'm glad you keep. What's up, baby? No offense. I don't see the point of arguing or debating with the P-hybers at this point. You already know. You already know. You know, I just have to say what I have to say. Let them know and let them keep going. That's it. You know how I do, keep. I don't. Nah, I'm going to have to disagree with that, Diva. Disagree with what, babe? Which one? What are we disagreeing? What are we disagreeing about? They are always going to be delusional. For sure. They're going to read selectively if they can read at all. Just praying for you, be exactly, mama. Take care of yourself, baby. They keep fighting each other as super fans. I know, it's the weirdest thing. That's not right if she running off and leaving an 18-year-old to take care of a smaller children to live her life. No, it's not. It's not, because you know what? At the end of the day, she should still be a parent. So she takes accountability if something happens to her children. Definitely. Without a shadow of a doubt. But at the end of the day, her daughter's 18. She's grown. Right? She's still an adult. As long as the mother sends her money and go visit her and she got a roof over her head, she got clothes on her back, she's still being taken care of. You know what I mean? The girl's probably getting ready to go into college. You know, that's the next step. Or who knows if she was already in college. You know, that's why we're going to read Asante's book. I'm not going to read her whole entire book. I'm only going through certain chapters where she speaks about R. Kelly and her experience with R. Kelly. All right? That's what we're going to do over here. No, like, if God forbid something happens to her children, that's her responsibility at the end of the day. Yes, I agree with that. I mean, shit, I wouldn't leave my children like that either. I wouldn't just up and leave for no nigga. Fuck that shit. I don't give a fuck how much money you giving me. My children come first. Everybody knows that shit. So, no. That would me, never. But people do it. Women do it. She was a groupie. Remember, she was a groupie. She used to travel to see his concerts. And then once she finally got to meet him, it was a wrap. Now she's in his orbit. That's exactly what she wanted. She got what she wanted, was to be with R. Kelly. It's something sort of like with Geronda Pace. They were groupies. They were infatuated with the star. They were starstruck. They chased him. They sought him out in a sense. Yes, they did. But that's not the fucking point. Who gives a fuck if they did that? That's what being a fan is all about. You go to the person's concert, you support your favorite artist, you buy their records, you buy their CDs, you buy t-shirts, posters, and things of this nature. Some people get obsessed. Some people are super fans. Some people are just fans. Some people are stans. STAN, stan. And they will do anything and become flying monkeys for their favorite artist. This is the thing that happens. You slow ass supporters and super fans, OCOV is about a lot of things. The bullshit we are definitely not on, period. Exactly, Sheree. The super fans don't even the damn paperwork and wonder why shit don't go in their favor. Right, because they don't even understand the paperwork. They don't read it. A lot of them don't understand it. The people that are reading it is misleading them. Like, it's crazy. The RSK superfans are embarrassment to the black community. You heard? No, Diva, let them send their songs. I'm trying to tell you. Oh, my ladies, I love you guys. We know how to ruffle feathers without even speaking on motherfuckers. All we gotta do is talk about R. Kelly and what's really going on and the broader picture as to why he is in jail. And it's because of his abusive patterns of behavior for the past 30 years against women. But they don't see that. They don't understand that. They're like, huh? I don't understand. But they're his girlfriends. He said they're his girlfriends. No, bitch. He made them his slaves. He had a cult. When he said, oh, a cult? I don't know what the fuck is a cult. I don't know what that means. He's shaking his head yes, but he's saying no. Get the fuck out of here. Guilty as fucking charged. Life. He sang the song. He wrote the song on purpose because he knew one day he was going to motherfucking get life. Okay? Period. Get mad at that. How about that? Now talk shit about OCOV. How about that? Your king is fighting for his fucking life and y'all arguing with us. Right. No, they're writing letters to the BOP and all this other dumb shit. Talking shit they don't know. Right. People, don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you. Gracias, mi amor. Bush babies as well. Those who don't like me, but really like me, just smash the like button anyway. All right? Thanks. Just do it anyway. Push my video out there. Gracias. And for all the ones that are in the bushes, my loves, my family out there, don't forget to hit the like button. All right? You like to fight? I like to fight too, bro. I really don't like to fight, but I like to fight. But I don't like to fight. God damn it, I'm old. Period. Why I gotta be fighting? You feel me? Oh, David. My people say hello. Are you asleep? He said he's not here. The judge says, stop trying to normalize this shit. It's not normal. Word up. Guilty, life. Exactly. Okay? They are so wishy-washy. Now Asante needs to be home with her grown kids, but the savages are supposed to just toss their daughter to the wind. Right. Because she's 19. She's an adult. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. If she wants to run away with a fucking old ass man because he gives her money, then she can do that. But Asante Mcgee should not leave her 18, 19-year-old daughter at home while she goes chase a man because he's giving her money. I mean, what the fuck? Pick a side. It's confusing. I can't. All right? I cannot deal. All right? All I'm going to say is enterprise. Exactly, daughter. Exactly, mama. Guilty as charged, Noonie. Okay? It's crazy. Hell yeah, my kids too. Girl, I would never, let me tell you something. I would never do that. But as a woman, she has every right to do that. Her daughter is of adult age to be left home alone, to go off to college, to live her own life if she wanted to, by law. So what the fuck are we really talking about here? Shit. You know what I'm saying? But me personally, nah, man, I wouldn't do it. But at the end of the day, what was wrong? Nothing. Oh God, fibroids, mama. Oh God, I love you, mommy. Jesus, I know. I have few, but they're very small, so I'm not worried. You know what I mean? I could shrink them. Just stay away from red meat. All right, baby. I love you, Keep. Just listen from the bushes, sis. Their own families don't like their asses. They will always be super fans, delusional ass stands. Exactly, Keep. Exactly. Yes, Just V. Happy recovery and wishes for you, sweetie. Oh my God. Oh, I'm glad you're good, sweetheart. By the way, Rkelly's music is now worth $42 billion. Who said that? Wait a minute. Who said that? Jackie. What's up, Jackie? Mommy, what's up, baby? Yo, who the fuck said that? Yo, Just B. Who said that, Just B? The way the super fans have been talking for the past 2 days, their king got one foot in the grave and the other one on a banana peel. Ave Maria, yo. They acting like they don't have letters. Okay. All right. So now. What Caleb said, she said, do these people actually be believing the bullshit they put out here? Like, y'all for real? They do, babe. They really do. They practice that shit. They live on it. So we can criticize an adult leaving an adult child, but don't want the children that he abused protected. Make it make sense. Right. It's the weirdest shit. I don't They act like his victims are sitting courtside at the playoffs and not sleeping on bunk beds in the studio. Exactly, mommy. What money? Right. He broke now. Right. So, okay, now I'm going to stop sharing my screen, guys, and I am going to present to you Asante Mcgee's book. Okay? We're going to read a little bit of it, and then we'll continue reading as it goes along. It's only 4 chapters that I want to go through. Wait, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chapters. 5 chapters I want to go through. Okay? Let's see how fast Diva could go through these chapters. All right. Okay, so now, guys, I'm gonna go off screen, so I'm not gonna be able to see the chat. All right, but make your comments as you go. And please don't forget to hit that like button. Tombella, what's up, baby? Tombella's in the building, y'all. What's up, lady love? Okay. I don't see Tombella, though. What did Justice just make a comment? Make sure you guys vote for Trump and come to Rkelly concert in 2024. Yo, Injustice, you stupid. Fuck Trump and fuck Rkelly. Oh my God, really, babe? 18 or 19? Oh my God, God bless you, sweetheart. Oh my God, sweetie. God bless you, mama. Oh shit. Okay, got it. Now I know. I love you too, Tombella. Oh shit. Oh, I love you guys. Oh shit. Oh. Wait, let me let me wipe the tears from my eyes. Cause then I won't be able to read. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me go get a tissue. Oh, you guys are funny. I love y'all. Oh. Oh shit. Okay. All right, y'all. I might have to take an intermission in a minute.
All right, 3 hours.
Just give me a minute, all right? All right, David, relax. No. Que time's up. I'm not cooking dinner right now. No. Come on, you cook dinner. I cooked dinner yesterday. Come on, David. Be nice. Come on, David. Daughter of the Most High. Right, David. Come on, David. Help me out, David. Keller in the building. I sent Robert Keller a picture of my five boys out there. Oh my, just be. Yeah, David's sick of you guys. He's sick of you guys. He hates when I go live. He does. You know, it's an issue. It's an issue, but he loves it, but he hates it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, because he knows I'm trying to do my thing and speak my truth and get information out there and shit like that. Hold on, my mom's calling me. Give me a second. Oh my God, Mom. I mean, just me. Oh God, all that noise he makes in the background playing those video games, and he thinks we're the problem. They say in there screaming at the TV. David, you're the problem, screaming at the TV, making all that noise in the background with the video games.
What?
Miss Mo, look what she said. She said all that noise he makes in the background playing those video games, and he thinks we're the problem. They say they stay in there screaming at the TV screen.
For real. Come on, asshole. Pick it up. What are you doing? Get out of the way. No! You missed it.
And now my mom is here. Give me a second, guys.
Intermission, 5 hours.
Intermission. Let me play some music for y'all. Wait. Oh, man. Right. She said, Trump, I think I'm going to be sick. Since when does Trump support pedophiles? Oh, since he is one, I guess. David, don't do us like that. My girl said, David, don't do us like that, David. Don't do us like that. Don't be mean.
It's my job.
He said that's his job. He's a crab. He's a cancer at heart. I feel for him, though. My husband can't hear because I have on the headphones. Oh, you know what? I'm not doing the headphone thing because then I can't hear him and everybody else that's going around me because I'm deaf. So, yeah.
You don't need to hear me. You don't need to hear me.
No, they don't need to hear you, but they hear you.
Don't worry.
This is the problem.
They want to hear me? All you got to do is call the hotline with my phone number there.
Call the hotline if you want to hear David. You have his Zelle number. You can call David anytime.
Delivered. Oh, I gotta go downstairs.
What delivered?
Oh, there's packages outside.
Oh, yeah, mine might be there too.
There's 3 packages outside.
Oh, mine might be there too, Mama.
Oh, 4 packages.
Okay, so
5
you.
packages. Oh, I gotta go. Wait, I'll be right back.
All right, I'm rolling. Don't worry, I got you. My mom got a bunch of packages. She brought me up her stuff. She wants me to roll for her. So give me a second. James! What's up, James? She said,
Excuse me.
She said Trump with the incest shit too. He in love with his daughter. Word, it's the weirdest shit. He will be screaming at the TV soon too. He just got off. Oh, your husband too? Maybe him and RSK will get along in prison.
You want me to jump on?
It's time for David to jump on. He's jumping on now, see? Now you're going to be hearing all the shit in the background while I'm reading the book.
Yo, mama licks donkey balls.
James, what's up, brother? We just making fun of people right now and having a cuckoo kiki. We're talking about Asante Mcgee today, and we're listening to her story. And that's what we're doing today, brother. How are you, James? What's going on in your world, bro? You just got home from work or chilling, the gym, or walking your dog? What are you doing? Yeah, right now I'm scrolling up for my mom. My mom wants me to roll her a long one because I know how to do that with the paper. So I know how to do this stuff with the paper. My mom doesn't do it at all. So yeah, she likes when I roll her long ones. Yeah. Y'all all better lay off Trump. His vice president is going to get you all. What? Oh, Lord. Fuck a Trump and fuck a Pence. He's not my president. Never was. James Pence can get some of this smoke too. Just V just got out of surgery and she ready to fight, okay? She ain't having none of this shit you talking about, que Trump and Trump. We ain't with Trump. Okay, we do not run with Trump over here. No. And if you do, that's your business. I don't give a fuck. You are who you are. As long as you treat me right, I don't give a fuck about who you vote for. I'm not that kind of person. David's gonna be the vice president. No. David not gonna play no goddamn R. Kelly. That's for sure. Let me tell you, he don't like R. Kelly. Okay. David will cook me some, but he sure the fuck is not gonna play no goddamn R. Kelly. Okay. That's not my house. That's your house, bro. Your house, bro. Not mine. That's your house. We don't do that over here. I deleted my R. Kelly playlist a long time ago. All right. All right, guys. Now we're going to get it together and we're going to start reading Asante's book, okay? We fooled around for about 2 hours. Now let's get to the cracking of the reading. All right. All right. I just finished cleaning out my nose. Let me take a sip of this water. Okay, guys. All right. So here we have Meeting R. Kelly. September 6, 2013 was the day I met the R. Kelly crew. At first, I wasn't going to go to Club Rain. My spoons came, my utensils came, all the stuff. Thank you, Mom. These are the gloves, right? The dust gloves or whatever.
Of dust mittens and
Right.
pairs of dust gloves.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the gloves are in the bag.
Very cool.
Right.
Gracias, mi amor. Thank you, Mama.
My phone case. See, David, talking about it.
Oh, it came today. Good. Finally. Right?
Yes.
Now,
it's purple. I got a purple one.
my spoons came. Okay. Nice. See, now we can scramble eggs
thing.
and not mess up my pots.
Okay, let me go do this down. I gotta do it up the table like that.
And tongue, so I don't scrape up.
Scratch that. Yeah, I know. Too.
I got a big one and a small one.
Well, good. At least they will go for something. Estelle.
Right, my butt.
Okay, at least they will go for something.
My butt, right.
Some part of your body.
Right.
All right, thank you, dear.
You're welcome, my love.
Really appreciate it.
Yes, I will see you later.
Okay.
I will stop by. Mwah.
I gave you something.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Love you. Thank you, Mom. You're welcome. Okay. All right, let me put this in the kitchen and then get back to work.
Oh.
What happened?
Oh.
Matter of fact, let me use the bathroom. All right, Eva should be on her way home. She's in the school fair thing. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm back. Hang in there, Injustice. We are not R. Kelly supporters, and this is not a free R. Kelly zone. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening. Facts. Okay, so let me continue reading. September 6, 2013 was the day I met the R. Kelly crew. At first, I wasn't going to go to Club Rain, where R. Kelly was hosting one of the many parties that weekend for the Black Panties promo tour. My friend Tammy persuaded me to go since it was my birthday. The reason I didn't want to go was because he was hosting two parties that night, and I missed the first party. Earlier that day, I had met someone in his entourage who invited us to party with them that weekend. I called and texted one of the members, and no one responded to my text or calls. I ended up going to the second club. I saw one of the guys in his entourage, and he invited Tammy and me to the VIP area. We were asked by one of the members of his entourage if we wanted to hang out with them after the club, and we both said yes. We all left the club together, and we followed them to a restaurant. So many people were there that we didn't even get out of the car. We decided to leave. That night, I did not meet R. Kelly. We were invited to attend another event R. Kelly was hosting that weekend, but we didn't go. It wasn't until January of 2014 that I sat down and talked with him face to face. One of the members of his entourage called me and invited me to hang out with them. I met up with his entourage at the mall, and we left, and we went to the hotel where R. Kelly was staying. We ordered room service and all sat down, ate, talked, and laughed. I was nervous but didn't want to show it. When I was leaving the hotel, he gave me a piece of yellow paper with his number written on it. I was excited, but again, I didn't show my excitement. When I got to my car, I texted him my name, and he replied, "I know who you are." That response alone put a smile on my face. R. Kelly had a concert in Baton Rouge on February 13th, 2014. He invited me, which I was happy about, and we met up at the hotel he was staying in. We rode to the concert together, and I was put in a dressing room until the show started. I was expecting to watch the show from the audience, but to my surprise, I was escorted to sit. Wait. Wait. Let me do this way. Hold up. Wait. Okay. Okay, see? Okay. After the concert, I waited for him in the dressing room. I followed him to the bus. He was talking to some of his workers when some fans came out of the bushes and tried to run to him, but security stopped them. He got on the bus, and I got in another vehicle and went back to the hotel. I went to my room, and before I could put the key in the door, I got a text telling me to come to his room and the room number. Immediately, I got back on the elevator and went to his room. He opened the door. I entered the room and he closed the door behind me. I took my shoes off and put my purse on the sofa. Kelly laid on the bed on his stomach and told me to give him a massage. I sat on his back and began to give him one. We talked for about an hour and he asked me questions about myself. He told me that he had many women and that some were like wives to him. He asked if I was okay with that. I would have been a fool not to think he was dealing with other women. At that time, I didn't think anything would really come out between us as far as being in a relationship. The next thing I know, we started having sex. He was telling me what to do and how to do it, how to do certain things to him, and to address him as daddy. At first, I was like, Daddy. But then I thought, okay, Daddy, it is. After we finished having sex, I got a warm towel out of the bathroom and wiped him off. I put my clothes on and proceeded to go back to my room. But he asked me where I was going. So I lay back down and we talked some more until we dozed off. Every time he moved, I moved. Finally, the sun was shining. I got my things and went back to my room. I showered and he texted me before he left and told me to meet him in the hotel lobby. I came downstairs and he kissed me on the forehead and gave me a gift, which was a Louis Vuitton bag. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna
I want. Because they just goof on.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I stepped away. Sorry about that. Yes, my daughter just came home. She's letting me know how her day was. She had a wonderful day. Thank God. Amen. Hallelujah. She's asking me questions, and I'm gonna be ordering dinner soon. So let's get some 20 minutes in a reading, and then I'm gonna take a break again. Okay. All right. So I told him that night I was going to New Orleans to celebrate my cousin's birthday. He left, and I went back to my room to get ready to go to New Orleans. When I got there, I texted him and told him I had made it. I enjoyed my weekend with my cousins and sister. When I was heading back home to Atlanta, I texted him, Daddy, I'm heading back home. We text back and forth daily, and there were many times when he wouldn't respond. I never took it personally. I knew who he was, and he was a very busy man. I was invited to more of his shows. Sometimes I would see him after the show, and sometimes I wouldn't. I would leave the show and go to his dressing room or just go back to the hotel and wait for him to call me. I never got upset when I didn't see him. I knew what to expect. After traveling back and forth for over a year, I was put to the final test. He flew me to Chicago in March of 2015. Now, March 2015, guys, this was a month before he met Azriel, y'all. Okay? He had me sit in the hotel for 2 days before he texted me Friday morning to come to the studio. I took a shower and took Uber to the studio. When I got to the studio, I texted him to let him know I was outside. He called me, and the first thing he asked me was what I had on. I told him, and he said, "Good girl." Next, he asked me, "How's the weather?" I told him, "Sunny but windy." He told me his assistant was going to come and open the door to the Sprinter. I said, "Okay." I sat in the Sprinter from about 11 a.m. to about 8 p.m. While I sat in the Sprinter, I was talking on the phone with friends. At one point, I had to use the bathroom. I text him, "Daddy, I have to use the bathroom." No response. As I sat in the Sprinter waiting for him to respond, I was looking for a restaurant or a store where I could use the restroom. I got out of the Sprinter and walked around the corner and found the restaurant and used the restroom. I went back to the Sprinter and continued to sit until I fell asleep. Around 8 o'clock, one of his assistants came to the Sprinter and said, "Mr. Kelly said come inside." I went inside the studio and he greeted me with a smile and asked if I needed anything. At this point, I forgot I was even angry that he had me sitting for hours. He was having a party, so there were at least 20 people. We talked for a few minutes until more people arrived. Around 4 o'clock that morning, I walked up to him and told him I had to leave because I had an early morning flight. He looked at me with the puppy dog face as if he didn't want me to leave. I asked, "What's wrong?" He said he wanted me to stay. I came up with every reason as to why I couldn't, but it didn't work. I agreed to stay another day. I noticed he disappeared with the woman in another room. About 30 minutes later, the woman came out the room smiling to her friends, whispering and laughing. He never came back out of the room that night. I left and went back to my hotel and went to sleep. The next day, when I woke up, I texted him, "Daddy, do you want me to come back to the hotel?" No response. Instead of wasting another night in Chicago, I left the very next morning. After I returned to Atlanta, he texted me asking where I was. I replied, "Back home." I had been in Chicago for 4 days. No response. We continued to call and text and FaceTime, and I was still flying back and forth visiting him. And then she shows the text message. He says, do you want me to wait for you in the lobby? And I guess he said room 149. He says, be ready. 30009. I will be. Okay. And this was February 13th of 2016 at 12:07 p.m. This was in the noontime. Then it's, are you okay? You were looking weak when we was outside. I hope you're feeling better. And then he says, I'm good, baby. I have been up 2 days in the studio and then came straight to the show. I was exhausted. Send me a pic. You need to stop working so hard and take care of yourself. And this was March 22nd of 2015 at 8:26 a.m. This one on the top was March 22nd at 4:58 a.m. when she texted him, and then he responded. It was at March 22nd at 4:58 a.m. when they texted here. Not March 22nd. That's the next text. All right. Then the next text says, good morning, baby. I just don't think you're strong enough to be in my world, he said. But I know you're not a bad person. Then she says, why not? And then he says, because my world is being, it's huge and it comes with many rules. This is what he says to her. Chapter 7 talks about meeting the trainer Juice. We were still texting and meeting up in different cities, enjoying each other. Rob always did voice to text instead of actually texting. I kind of figured that. You see, I knew he did that. All I ever saw in Rob was Rkelly, this nice, funny guy whom everyone loved for 2 years. That was all I ever saw. A few months prior to me meeting some of the other girls, he told me he didn't think I was strong enough to be in his world. At this point, I was confused. I had been with this guy for 2 years, and out of the blue, he was telling me this. So I asked, why not? He said his world was big and came with many rules. I told him, I'm stronger than you think. On the first day of the buffet tour in St. Louis, I met one of the girls. After the concert, we went back to the hotel. But instead of getting off the bus, we stayed on the bus. One of his assistants told him he was going to give the guys keys to their rooms. Rob told him he needed a key for his guest, me. The assistant told him he didn't have enough rooms, and Rob told him make it work. His assistant left my key to my room. It was about 3:00 in the morning, and it was raining hard. Rob and I engaged in all sorts of sexual activities on the bus, off and on for about 4 hours. We would take a nap and wake up back at it. I did everything he asked me to do. I did things to him I never imagined ever doing. And although I was not comfortable with it, I acted as if I were. Around 7:00 in the morning, he picked up his phone and made a call and told someone to come here. I was expecting someone to come into the bus from the outside. I heard an inside knock and was confused. Rob said, come in. I saw a girl coming out of the room and the back of the bus naked. He told her, "Bitch, get on all fours." At this point, I was shocked and confused, and I felt as if I were being punked. I just couldn't believe that with all the noise we were making in the front of the bus, there had been someone on the bus the entire time. The girl did as she was told, and he asked her a series of questions. "What's your name?" She said, "Juice." "How old are you?" 31. "How long have you known me?" 16 years, Daddy. I was doing the math in my head and was still confused. He said, "Good girl. Now, get up." He was still naked, and she sat next to me with a table between us. Rob sat on a long bench across from us with just a t-shirt on. Juice got the iPad and put some music on. Rob then called Juice over and said, "Come and suck Daddy's dick."
What the fuck, yo?
I was still sitting there confused. He then called me over and said, "She's my trainer, and she's going to teach you how to please Daddy, okay?" He then instructed her to get up and start kissing me. Then he told her to eat me like Daddy eats you. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. He told me to start sucking his dick as she performed oral on me. I was very uncomfortable, but again, I didn't show it. He then tapped her to get up. He grabbed my hand and walked me to the back where the bedroom was, and she followed. He took my hand and laid me on the bed. Juice came in behind us, and it was as if she already knew what to do. I was thinking, this is about to happen? This is about to be my first threesome. The three of us got in the bed, kissing one another. Rob got out of the bed and told Juice and me to keep going. He sat in a chair in the corner across from the bed. I listened to his instructions, and then he pulled out an iPad. I noticed he was recording us and started getting nervous. As he was playing with himself, he pulled the blinds up and said, "Oh, this is good. I want everybody to see this." I looked up and was like, "What?" Then I noticed the windows on the bus were frosted, so no one could see inside. He got up and told Juice to leave the room. He and I started having sex, and after we finished, we went back to the front of the bus where Juice was. I had put on my clothes back on, but Juice was still naked, and Rob still had on just a t-shirt. We continued to talk, and Juice asked Rob if she could eat. He said yes. I was a little confused as to why she had to ask for permission to eat. About an hour later, we engaged in sexual activities again. About 1 o'clock, we left, and headed to the next city, which was Kansas City. We got there a few hours before it was time for him to go on stage. I saw him before the show, and while he was on stage, I didn't see him after the show, which really didn't bother me because that was a normal thing. I went back to my hotel that night and flew back home the next day. We continued to text and FaceTime each other. Here are just a few texts between Rkelly and me. See, you telling me you don't care about nobody else. We have got to get that type of thinking out of your mind. You did good the last time you were with me, but I was always test to quick trip. And if you do not see me or hear from me, I am very busy man. I respond to you when I can and when I see fit. And you just have to trust that I have people. I care about you. Met one of them, so you have to care about her too, because she already knows to care about you because of me. Then she responds, yes, Daddy, I understand that. When I say I don't care about anyone else, I'm not speaking on family. I'm speaking of other people in general. Of course I care about her. Good morning, Daddy. I'm sorry for saying I didn't care about. Then he says in this text, you were all over me at that party as if you were trying to show out for the girl that were next to you. You know, I am very private. Never do that again because you have never done that. Then she says, I'm not the type to show off. I was drunk and was actually having a good time. I'm sorry if you feel that's what I was doing. Yes, I know you are a private person, and that's why I keep my business to myself. Then he responds, but you didn't keep your business to yourself that night, and you are not allowed to use alcohol for an excuse. And if that's the case, then don't drink around me if you cannot contain yourself. Keep it professional unless I say otherwise, because you never know what girl who might be around me. And this was February 24th of 2016. So you see now, as you can see, he's making it seem like she's a worker. She's an employee of somehow. And she has to keep it professional. You see that? Her next chapter, chapter 8. Dildo. June 2nd, 2016 was the day my life changed mentally. I didn't want to believe what I had witnessed and was hoping this was not really happening, but it was. After the Houston show, Rob called me and told me to come to his room. We were staying at the St. Regis Hotel. I went to his room and knocked on the door. A girl answered the door, a girl I'd never seen before. I walked into the room and sat down. He was sitting on the sofa. He instructed both of us to come to him. One of us was to perform oral on him, while he played with the other. He moved us to the bedroom. I could tell this girl had done this with him before. I lay on the bed, and the other girl stood next to the bed. He went to the dresser where his book bag was and pulled out a dildo. In the back of my head, I was thinking, oh shit, it's about to get freaky in here. He's bringing out toys. Rob lay next to me, and the next girl, Rob lay next to me, and the girl started sucking his dick. While she was sucking his dick, he put the dildo in his ass. I was thinking, what the fuck? He told me, it's going to be okay, baby. Just lay on daddy's chest. The way he got off as the other girl was sucking his dick with the dildo in his ass was nothing like him having sex with females. I couldn't believe what I had just witnessed. The other girl had no problem and knew exactly what she was doing and what he liked. This is 2016, guys. After he nutted, the girl went into the bathroom to get a towel to clean him off. We went back into the living room and sat down on the sofa. Nothing was discussed about what had just happened. We dozed off, and when we all woke up, he told me to order room service. Someone knocked on the door and left us there. I didn't say anything to the girl, and she didn't say anything to me. About an hour later, one of his assistants knocked on the door and told us to come and get in the Sprinter. I said, wait, I need to go back to my room and pack and shower. She said, okay, you have 10 minutes to do that and then come downstairs. I guess the shower felt so good that I didn't realize how long I had been in. I walked out of the hotel to see the bus, the Sprinter, and security were all gone. Rob had given me a number to text when I couldn't get in contact with him. I called the two numbers I had for him, but they were going straight to voicemail. Then I texted the number he had told me to text, only never called the phone. I later found out it was Juice's number. She never responded to my text. I made my way to the next city, which was Dallas. I met up with my friend Tanya, who lived there, and I went to her house until he made it to Dallas. We texted back and forth until he got to the venue. My friend and I went to the show together, and he sent one of his assistants to get us and bring us backstage. His assistants gave Tanya a wristband to get all access. The assistant took me to his dressing room. As I sat outside his dressing room, different people were coming in and out. So I never made eye contact with anyone. Rob walked out of his dressing room and said, "You need to stand when a king enters the room." I smiled, and he kissed me on the lips and told me someone would take me into the audience 10 minutes before he went on stage. His assistant came and took me into the audience at the side of the stage with two other girls. When I got there, Juice and Kathy welcomed me with a hug. Who's Kathy? I had met Juice, but not Kathy. I remembered seeing her in July 2015 in Connecticut, and I noticed she looked very young. Later, I found out how old she was. which meant that when I saw her in Connecticut, she was 17 years old. Oh, so Kathy is Azriel. Kathy is Azriel, guys.
Oh, he's trying to get me.
We all watched the concert, smiled, and sang to all his songs. I noticed Juice was texting during the show, but didn't know who she was. So she wound up meeting Juice and Azriel, and they welcomed her with a hug. And she had met she had seen Azriel in July in 2015 in a concert. So Azriel already had been with Rkelly since April. April, May, June, July, 4 months. So this was around the time that Azriel was getting ready to go back to her parents, because sooner or later he found out that she was 17.
I'm not gonna be able to get my gun.
Because as she said, she later found out that she was 17.
All right, I'm gonna move towards the left. I'm moving towards green.
Now, we all watched the concert, smiled, and sang to all his songs. I noticed Juice was texting during the show, but didn't know who she was texting. All I could see was that she was in a group text. I continue enjoying the show, as always. After the show, we all were escorted to his dressing room. He asked if we had enjoyed the show, and then he asked Juice, how did she do? I was shocked and saying to myself, this girl was watching me the entire time? I didn't know I was being watched. Juice told Rob, she did good, Daddy. She danced and knew all the words to your songs.
Drop one.
Juice, his assistant, and I waited in the dressing room. So this must have been when Asante was on the speaker dancing to his song. And Juice must have been there watching her. So Juice, his assistant, and I waited in the dressing room while Kathy, as we know as Azriel, and Rob went to the back. I started to hear moaning. Juice kept knocking on the door, telling them they were too loud. Eventually, his assistant told us to follow her. She put Juice on the bus and me in the Sprinter. I was shocked and was thinking, what's going on? My friend was still there, and I needed to let her know what was going on. So I texted her and told her to follow the bus. We finally left, and she followed us to a strip club. The only people who got out and went into the club were Rob and his boys. We rode around to at least 3 different places, and by this time, the sun was coming up. We pulled up to the hotel, and I told my friend to go home. His assistant told me, you might want to get your clothes before you end up in the next city with no clothes. I was like, what? So I got my clothes out of the car and got in the Sprinter. We went to sleep in the hotel, and we all left later that day and headed to the next city, which was Oklahoma City. We arrived at the venue just in time for him to go on stage.
No fucking ammo.
We were escorted to our designated area alongside the stage. We sang to every song. We danced. We all had a good time. After the show, we all went back to our hotel. The next morning, we had to wait in our rooms until someone came to get us and bring us to the Sprinter. That was one of the rules, I was told. I waited until someone got me, which was checkout time, and went to the Sprinter. He was on the bus with Juice and Kathy, aka Azriel. And I was in the Sprinter with two of his assistants. After I had been sitting in the Sprinter for hours, his nephew knocked and told me, Mr. Kelly wants you to come to him. And I bet you his nephew was, what's his name? What's his name? What's his nephew's name? Lewis. Richard Arline. I bet you it was Richard Arline. His nephew knocked and told me, Mr. Kelly wants you to come to him. I got out of the Sprinter and he was sitting on the steps of the bus. He asked me for my phone. I told him I had left it in the Sprinter. He told me to get it. As I was walking to get my phone, I was nervous because I had been told he would go through my phone. I grabbed my phone, and as I was walking back to the bus, I noticed he was watching me through the side mirrors on the bus. He called Kathy and Juice off the bus, and we started walking. Rob made a gesture, and the two of them stopped and hugged me. The four of us walked to a nearby park. Oh, so she was the girl who was in the park when R. Kelly found out that Azriel was 17. Wow. So it must have been Juice, Asante, and Azriel sitting in a circle. Remember what who was it that said this? Azriel said in her testimony that they were sitting in the park in a circle in the grass and blah, blah, blah. And they were talking and she wound up. So now we know who it was, guys. Now we know who was there. Asante Mcgee was one of the other girls who was there in the park with Azriel when she told R. Kelly that she was 17. Yep. Wow.
Oh shit!
Wow.
On the boat. What the fuck?
So, and the two of them stopped and hugged me. The four of us walked to a nearby park. A festival or something was going on. Yes. There were live bands, other family activities, and food trucks. We walked around for a while and eventually left because too many people started noticing him and we were trying to take pictures. I went back to the Sprinter and we sat there for hours until we finally left that night and headed to Atlanta. When we arrived, Rob opened the Sprinter doors and told Juice, Kathy, and me, welcome home, my babies. We were at his home in the Johns Creek area. He gave us a tour of the home and showed us to our rooms. After showering, I went downstairs to his man cave cigar room. We listened to music for a while, and then he told us we could go to sleep and to meet him at a certain time in the black room. This was the room where we had sex anytime he instructed us to meet him there. It was called the Black Room because everything in the room was black. All the interior decoration in the room was black, including the bathroom. You never knew who would end up in the Black Room. You just knew to meet him there. I set my alarm and went to sleep. Later, I went to the Black Room. After an hour passed and no one came. I stayed anyway. He finally came upstairs and asked how long I had been waiting. Apparently, he had told Juice to tell me he was pushing the time back, but she didn't tell me. Juice, Rob, and I were all in the Black Room. Juice and Rob were sitting in chairs across from each other, and I was sitting on a love seat between them. After the three of us had sex, which did not include the dildo, I thought I was really tripping in Houston, and I never wanted to think about that night again. We all went to our rooms until it was time to leave. Each day I was there, I was given a new rule. One rule was when entering each room, I needed to knock and wait for someone to tell me to enter. If I was upstairs and wanted to come downstairs, I needed to stomp on the hardwood floor until he told me to come down. One day, I went downstairs and knocked before entering one of the living rooms. I didn't hear anyone, so I didn't think anyone was downstairs. When I walked into the room, Rob was in a corner with Sarah. So now I'm thinking this is Joy. Hold on, guys.
I'm right on. I'm on the top of the mountain. I'm on top. Hold on. Come around.
Hold on. Hey, your phone is there. Okay, so now I'm thinking maybe Joy is Sarah. Let's see. When I walked into the room, Rob was in a corner with Sarah. And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." Rob said, "Now, what if I was fucking a rabbit? Then I would have had to kill you." I walked back upstairs. After being in the house for about a week, I was running out of clothes, and I told him I needed to go home and get some more clothes. He told me, "Damn, we are about to leave to go to the studio. Can you go home and be back by 4:30? By this time, it was about 3:45. There was no way I could have made it home and back in Atlanta traffic within that time frame. So he said, "Go home when I'm asleep." I was saying to myself, "You barely sleep." Rob then told me, "When you go home, bring everything because you will be living here with Daddy." I was thinking, yeah, okay, I have kids who at the time were staying with family and friends for the summer break. I said, "Daddy, you don't like feeding people, and I love to eat." He told me he didn't want to hear me say that again. He didn't want people to think he wasn't feeding his girls. He asked me what I wanted to eat, and we left to get something to eat. The next time we went somewhere and stopped at a gas station. I bought myself a lot of snacks and hid them in a bag I would carry around. The next morning, I text, "Daddy, can I get an Uber to get some clothes?" he called me and told me to come back to the black room. I was pissed because I knew I wasn't going to get a chance to get clothes for another day. Juice, Rob, and I were all downstairs talking with the TV on the ID channel. Juice told me to always make sure the TV was on that channel because that was his favorite channel, ID. Rob told Juice to go check on his sister. He meant Kathy. Wait a minute, what? Rob told Juice to go check on her sister, and he meant Kathy, and to make sure she was asleep. Juice checked on her and came back and said, "Yes, Daddy, she's asleep." He took us to another living room that was behind the kitchen, next to the back stairs to go upstairs. He took off his pants, and I started sucking his dick. As I was sucking his dick, Juice took her middle finger and inserted it up his ass. Once again, I was like, what the hell? He then stopped me and reached into his book bag. Inside was a dildo, this time a double-sided one. I was thinking, not this shit again. He had the same reaction that he had in Houston. So many thoughts were going through my head, and I knew I couldn't say anything. After we were done, he told Juice to make sure Kathy was still asleep. We went back to the main living room and acted as if nothing had happened. We finally went to the studio, only to sit in the Sprinter for hours with no sleep. There was another girl who would come around. I didn't know why she was living in the house with us. I later found out Sarah was still in college. See, like I said, Sarah is joy. Okay. I later found out Sarah was still in college, and she was living on campus. Sarah missed school because she kept trying to call him, but he wouldn't answer. She started missing school a lot, and no one seemed to care. Every day, a new rule was imposed on me. I needed permission to eat, to bathe, and to go to sleep. I needed his approval as to what to wear. I was even told during sex to change my voice to sound like a little girl. After I had seen the true Rob, I knew the man I thought I was in love with was not the person I thought he was. I always saw Rkelly, not Rob. I was to the point where I had to plan when I was going to leave and how. I had watched an 18-year-old girl pull out his dick in front of me and two other people and start sucking on it, and no one seemed bothered but me. All I could think was, what if this were my daughter? How would I feel? My final straw was when I got yelled at for wearing a tank top. He pulled me to the side and told me to change my shirt. We were all going to the mall while he went to the studio and played basketball. I didn't go with the other girls because I got in trouble for wearing a tank top. He made me go with him to the studio and to the gym. When we got on the bus, he told me the other girls were intimidated by what I was wearing, and he knew it was not going to be good. He went on to tell me I need to start dressing like the other girls in jogging suits. I told him it was too hot to be wearing jogging suits. He told me I was skinny enough that I shouldn't get hot. And if I didn't have the clothes, then he could make plans to get some. I looked at him as if he were crazy. I tried to make it until the New Orleans show. That was the show where I had planned to leave. I knew that once I got there, someone would pick me up. I didn't make it there. 4 days before his New Orleans show, Juice and I got into an argument that almost became physical. Juice was trying to make me do something, and I wouldn't. When I didn't do what she asked me to do, she began to yell at me and ask me what was wrong and if I had a problem with her telling me what to do. I said yes. I remember seeing his aunt and 3 other girls. And as we were arguing, I was watching them to see if they were going to try to hit me. His assistant ran to him and told him Juice and I were about to fight. He called me and asked me what happened. We went outside to talk more, and he told me, "You have the black woman syndrome. You don't like for another black woman to tell you what to do, especially a younger black woman." I told him that was not true. He continued to take up for Juice and tried to make it seem as though it were my fault. We argued for about 30 minutes, and he started slapping himself in the face, saying he couldn't believe he was arguing with me. I went to my room, took a shower, and called my friend, who didn't work far from where he lived. I had her pretend she was an Uber driver. When she came, I gave her the gate code to get in. As I was leaving, he looked surprised and asked me if that was my Uber. I said yes and left. About a week later, he called me and told me I needed to apologize to his guests. And once I apologized, he would send for me. If I didn't do it within a week, then lose his number. I never called to apologize. Wow, that was deep. I need to take a break on that for a second, guys. That was crazy. She said, I wonder if that was K. Michelle sleeping. No, Kathy, the girl Kathy is Azriel. She was the 17-year-old. And Sarah is Joy, the girl from college. So let me take a quick break real quick, guys. Let me get some more water. Okay, guys. Hey, Sharice, what's up, mama? Yes, so
Where's the damn room?
hold on, don't come over here crazy. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to order dinner in the background, y'all. Please be patient. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. I'm back. I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Had to handle the family real quick. Sorry, guys. All right. So the next chapter we are going into is chapter 9, and it talks about the parents. Some may wonder how it was so easy for me to leave when others stayed. Being abused most of my life, I was able to recognize abuse faster than some who may have not had to deal with it. When I left, I knew I had to do something, but I didn't know what. I was talking to someone daily and was telling that person what I had witnessed. I knew the parents of the girls couldn't have known what was going on with their daughters. So, with a little help, I was able to reach out to the Johnsons, as we know them to be, the Savages, and Kathy's mom, which we know is Azriel's mom. I contacted them both anonymously because I didn't want to know what I was doing. I didn't want Rob to know what I was doing. When I spoke to Mr. Johnson, I asked him if he knew his daughter was dating Rkelly and that she was going to school. He told me no, and that he didn't care who I was, but he thanked me. He was going to get his daughter back, and she would not see him again. I believed him. As Kathy's mom, we text back and forth, but I never called her. I didn't text her from my real number because I didn't know if I could trust her. I was told they signed their daughter over willingly, so I didn't want them to know who I was. A few days later, I found out the Johnsons' daughter went back to Rob, and I called them to let them know. They had taken her ID, and they weren't sure how she had been able to get on a plane. In the early part of December of 2016, the Johnsons persuaded me to talk to a reporter off the record, and I agreed. When I spoke with Jim, I didn't reveal my identity. He asked me a series of questions, and a few days later, he asked if I would go on record. Several people had come to him, but they were scared to speak on record. After confiding in a friend, I agreed, and we did a 2-hour phone interview about my relationship with Rkelly. December 2016 was when I decided to help the Johnsons get to their daughter. Since I already revealed my identity, Rob had a Christmas show in Atlanta, and I invited Miss Johnson to the show, knowing I would still be able to get an all-access pass. I told her to act as if we didn't know each other. After the concert, we went to his meet and greet, hoping her daughter would be there, but she wasn't. Miss Johnson and Rob talked, but she still didn't see her daughter. I walked up to Rob, we spoke, and I gave him a hug. He asked me why I was acting funny, and I told him I wasn't. He told me to call him when I left there so I could meet up with him. I felt disgusted after hugging him. I didn't have the same feelings I had for him when I knew Rkelly. Miss Johnson started doing her research and found other girls who had past relationships with Rob. One of the girls and I grew close. At least I thought we did. We texted and spoke on the phone from January of 2017 up until March or April of 2018. And then she wanted me to sign a non-disclosure. I felt betrayed. I had never repeated anything we discussed for over a year, and now, all of a sudden, my loyalty was being questioned. I did not sign it, and we have not spoken since that day. And I wonder if that was Kitty Jones. When Jim published the article in July of 2017, I didn't know it was going to get as much as attention as it did. I received so much backlash from my own peers calling me a liar, when a lot of people failed to realize was that it was 6 months after I did the interview before the article was published. Chapter 10, Life After. I see comments from people who think they know. Comments saying I'm lying, I just want money, I'm not his type, or I'm too old. Reading these comments attacking me every day once silenced me, but not anymore. One fan dedicated her Twitter to at me negative things, as if she were hoping I would become suicidal. She called my phone 3 different times in May of 2018, and I recorded all the conversations. To this day, every time something comes out with my name on it, Lisa and Keisha team up and try to go against me in different blogs. I don't know who these are, but I think one might be Tasha K and one might be probably Since Day One, because I know she had issues with them. She continues to post and share the link with the details of my childhood, saying I caused the injuries to myself. I never knew it was public record. And it's sad for someone to think it's funny to accuse you of lying and causing self-inflicted pain. I wonder who Keisha and Lisa are. Maybe even Prima Donna. Who knows? Who knows who these crazy people are? No kind of abuse is funny. And people like her are the reason some people don't come forward and report any kind of abuse. All those who criticize me and others like me, I often wonder how they would feel if this had happened to them. Their daughter, their sister, or their mother. Would they think it was funny? Age has no limit for being abused. I can honestly say I feel better today than I did a year ago, or even 2 years ago. Those who came out and continue to come out against me have made me stronger as a woman and mother. Today, I can honestly say I'm happy where I am in life. A successful businesswoman who owns a successful Havoc plumbing company. I will continue to share my life experiences. Those who doubted me, thank you. Because of you, I was able to keep getting stronger. So now she puts a tweet, one tweet that said May 15th, replying to Asante. If you lie on your own mother and have her arrested on false child abuse charges, what will you do to Rkelly? Is another tweet. This is the tweet that was posted. Okay. Anyone who lies on their own mother and purposely have them arrested on false abuse charges will definitely try to bury a man like Rkelly. You need help, and someone needs to make sure of that. Okay, guys, and that is the end of the book. That was her experience with Rkelly. Thank you guys for sticking around. Anyone has a comment, please leave your comments in the comments section below in the video. If you would like to leave a super thanks, you can leave a super thanks. There's a heart with a $sign. You can hit that. Donate to the channel. If you like the commentary, you can hit the super chat now while you're here, or you can even donate to your girl, Diva Divine Light. My Cash App is $sign Diva Divine Light / you can even PayPal me at Diva Divine Light, or you can Zelle me at 347-664-9253. Thank you guys for hanging out. As you guys all know, everything under the Copyright Act, the fair use of copyrighted material without permission, is allowed when it's used for the following purposes of criticism, comment, news reporting, and teaching. And thank you guys for stopping by. If you guys have any tips or anything you want to mail to me, you can email me at diva.josh.32332@gmail.com. If you guys would like to text me, give me some tips or anything you want to speak about, or just say hi, my number is 347-336-9724. Thank you guys for coming and listening. It's been real. And Asante, you welcome Just Be, you welcome Sharice. No, the super thanks will be there after the video's like over and they review it, then the super thanks will appear. That happens after the video's been edited by YouTube, you know, that they look at it. So it will be there. But if you guys want to thank me now and support the channel, you can hit the $sign in the super chat in the line, or you can just donate to my Cash App. Thank you guys for coming. Diva Divine Light is out. Peace.